WC Conversations. I'm Jamie Kramble, Economic Development Officer with Wheatland County. I'm joined here today by Markus Lehmann. Markus is an important part of the investment team with the county. I'll let Markus introduce himself. Thank you and welcome, Markus.
Hi, Jamie. Yeah, and thank you very much. Getting to know you better and better as time goes by. I'm Markus Lehmann. I am a specialist in new energy developments, investment attraction, and working closely with you, Jamie, and the county on developing, and executing a sort of new energy hydrogen vision or strategy for the county, and also aggregating common interests of other municipalities and other industry stakeholders, and reaching out and making certain that the word of the new energy development is taken in the context where it's not a mandate where we're out trying to decrease or take away from any existing industry, but only aggregate and increment potential revenue possibilities for the county as well.
Excellent, Markus. And I think that's an important point that you made, that Wheatland traditionally has a strong oil and gas economy. They pay a large part of our tax revenues, providing jobs as well. And I think the county has something like 8,000 traditional oil and gas wells. So obviously we value that, and we want that industry to remain strong and competitive. And we want to build on that in the creation of our new energy industry. Which would include things like hydrogen, sustainable aviation fuels, and synthetic fuels. You want to talk maybe just a little bit about some of the things you've seen in the county? I know there are some companies like Rocky Mountain Clean Fuels. We have hydrogen producers already. There's other developments in that space. Just briefly maybe mention some of the things that we already have as a county.
Sure, no, absolutely. And sort of in my role here as advisor to the county, my sort of work operations is to engage with the stakeholders, existing stakeholders, look at the entire format and structure of what is possible, what exists in the county, and what the county may have as potential to attract new investments and new industry into the space. So through this sort of mandate, we've gone out and looked at the existing assets, the existing industries in the new energy space, and of course there's a number of activities happening. Not only is Wheatland County the only jurisdiction basically in Alberta and perhaps even Canada that has an excess of hydrogen production facilities, hydrogen production in one of its facilities, and that is the Rocky Mountain Clean Fuel. That's the Rocky Mountain Clean Fuel, isn't it? Clean Fuels.
Rocky Mountain Clean Fuels is correct. Yeah, there's a recent name change.
Yeah, where they produce synthetic biofuels or synthetic diesel fuel out of natural gas, gas to liquids plant. And there is an excess of hydrogen available there that we're hoping to work together with them. They are, of course, leading it, but we're assisting wherever possible to see that hydrogen can get to market and create a value, not only for themselves, but attract and create an ecosystem and a cluster of hydrogen developments around that space. And then, of course, we have the Nutrien fertilizer plant. We have Orica mining explosives, and there are other renewable natural gas initiatives. There are renewable energy initiatives in the county, and hoping to what we've been doing, and thanks to the great efforts of you and your office as well, we've been able to gather this information of what is actually occurring in the county and look at how we can integrate, how we can facilitate, and how we can sort of cultivate a collaborative understanding amongst the players that we can actually work together to attract not only further development in that space, but also look at further offtakes of those production facilities, and then create what I think has been even termed by yourself as a Southern Alberta new energy hydrogen hub. Perhaps not near the scale of what's happening in
Right.
Edmonton and region, but we do have the capacity here, as we are already producing hydrogen, and the capacity also with being a rural municipality with existing area structure plans for industrial development and investment attraction. We're hoping and looking towards building on those initiatives to create that space even more robust than it is.
Very good. Thank you, Markus. I think you've touched on an important point, which is the development sort of a new energy industry for the Calgary region. That is one of the visions that I have, and I think we've talked about is trying to create in Wheatland County a smaller scale version maybe of what's happening in Heartland for the Edmonton region. Create a new energy cluster that will supply the entire Calgary region and South Alberta with new energy products, whether it be sustainable aviation fuels due to proximity to Calgary International Airport, hydrogen due to our Highway 1 access, which runs through the county and provides a corridor, or whether it be synthetic fuels whether it be for industry, for the marine industry, for trucking, et cetera, et cetera. So Wheatland County, you and I have identified new energy as a niche that the county has competitive strengths in. And I think that's important, is that we're trying to build an economy here that will provide municipal tax revenues through whether it's non-residential tax or linear assessment, and create high value jobs that people want to work at, that will pay them a living wage, and that county residents can fill. I think another important area that another company that we've engaged in quite extensively with is RETI, Reconciliation Energy Transition Inc., which has been in active discussions with the Alberta government about a carbon sequestration hub, a CCUS hub within the territory of Wheatland County, where they would put a carbon trunk line from Calgary to the county and then sequester CO2, carbon dioxide, within the county in the pore space.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Great comment there. And sort of to leverage on that, Jamie, Wheatland County is really blessed with having not only incredible natural resources. By its name, Wheatland, we're a strong agricultural community, but also natural resources, energy-wise, great solar and wind assets. We sit on the verge of some of the best solar and renewable energy developments not only in Alberta but in Canada, and then also our substructure infrastructure. So Wheatland sits right at the nexus of where there is energy demand and where there is energy supply. And we are able to leverage all of that with a very astute and sound already existing infrastructure base, both above soil and subsoil. So looking at the natural gas pipelines that weave their way throughout the county, we have transmission lines, ASO transmission lines, pass through the county, and we have a tremendous capability of building on not only biomass capabilities, but also the conventional energy to convert this into new energy, low carbon developments that can assist in the energy developments necessary that the Canadian economy will need in the coming years and decades.
Excellent. Thank you, Markus. I think you've touched on some of the points in our value proposition, the competitive strengths that we have as a county for an investor, and the reasons why somebody would invest in Wheatland County in the new energy space. I'll just put in a plug for Wheatland and mention a few other things. We're close to Calgary. We're about 11 minutes border to border, depending on the location. Highway 1 access is important. It goes all the way from Calgary to Winnipeg. We have a CP rail line in the south of our county, and companies can purchase land along that rail line and create rail access there. We have a municipal non-residential tax incentive. We'd be one of the only counties that I'm aware of in the entire Calgary region that has a tax incentive for investors. Again, applicable. There's different criteria that apply, but I think we are definitely a forerunner in that, and one of the only, if not the only, municipality in the Calgary area that has that. Also, a large cluster development. So manufacturing industry is coming on strong in Wheatland. We are the new home of de Havilland Field, large aircraft manufacturer that's going to be coming in, as well as CGC Inc., which is part of United States Gypsum Corp. Again, large manufacturing facility that's coming into the county as well. So there's opportunities in those spaces, both in manufacturing and in the new energy development space. Traditional oil and gas industry is also strong in the county. So the feedstocks for producing a blue hydrogen, for example, we have the natural gas, or we also have renewables if people are interested in green. And you and I have engaged with companies on both ends of that color continuum, companies both interested in green and blue and in other sorts of endeavors, such as fueling stations for hydrogen and other parts of the supporting infrastructure. I think one of the strengths that you bring to the role, Markus, is the implementation. I think it's the engagement with industry. A lot of people can write fancy reports, in my experience, and that's great. And you look at it and there's recommendations and nobody ever implements them. But I think something important that you brought to the role in the time that you spent at Wheatland is the engagement, the extensive engagement we've had with both industry, government, nonprofit organizations. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the things we've done to date? Because there's a lot of them, and I think, probably this conversation won't provide enough time to discuss them all, but talk a little bit about some of the initiatives, including maybe our town hall and some of the industry engagement we've had.
No, absolutely. And Jamie, it's important to emphasize that not only you and your department have embraced this wholly, but the council has sort of initiated it, saying we really want to move forward with new energy, looking at the new energy space and seeing what is possible. And so it takes a team. I mean, this is not a one-person initiative by any way, shape, or form. It takes a dedicated team to get these industry stakeholders interested in what is occurring. So we've done a report on this kind of the state of affairs of the energy industry, the new energy capacity, and what are the stakeholders who are present, and then what are the opportunities that are available. And with that report, there came two proposals. One, and they to deduce them down to their simplicity. One is to make certain that Wheatland County implements a set of actions that demonstrates to the overall industry that they are open for this type of business. They're open for the dialogue in the first sense, and open to try to understand how they can assist, Wheatland can assist you in implementing your activities or your actions or your asset necessities into the county. And then also, Wheatland understands that it can't do this alone. Just as the county has a team that works, the new energy build out will take a number of jurisdictions to assist each other in attracting not only the investment necessary, but building out the infrastructure which will be necessary. So Wheatland will be engaging with its neighboring jurisdictions, municipalities, and industries to see how we can build out these developments in a aggregate manner, in a complementary manner to the conventional energy that is already in existence. And some of those initiatives that we've done already are we've done a reach out to the general public to talk about the new energy. We did a town hall, an energy town hall, where we had 50 industry stakeholders present. We have done a number of other activities, reaching out to our First Nations partners, reaching out to other industry aspects, where we're looking at perhaps not only are we are forming what is called a cohort of hydrogen innovation acceleration. So bringing that mindset to the industry leaders, to the active energy proponents in the county, to stimulate the energy acceleration and new energy developments that can be possible within the county.
Excellent. Thank you, Markus. I think that's great. So I think we've kind of covered quite a bit of ground here today. I think we've talked about your role. I think we've talked about, some of the work that you've done to date, a little bit about our future initiatives. Thank you for mentioning that town hall. I think that was highly successful. It was a great initiative, very well implemented, and I think we got very, very good value out of that. And people are always talking about that event. So I think that kind of helped to place us on the map as far as a jurisdiction for investment and showing showcasing some of what we already have. Companies like Rocky Mountain Clean Fuels and Nutrien, we were very blessed to have them speak and to share about their businesses and their projects and their expansions, which was totally awesome. I think we've talked a little bit about the county as well, the value proposition and so forth. Is there anything else you'd like to say? I mean, I know we're going to be in the community. We're going to be at events. I know Global Energy Show this week. I plan to attend that. We've been in discussions with a lot of different government stakeholders about funding possibilities, potential outreach to other areas as well. Anything else you'd like to say before we conclude the discussion today?
Basically, just final comment here is that Wheatland County, it punches above its weight class. It makes things happen. Maybe small in number, but certainly makes itself well known in the space, and understanding that it is present, it is open for business, and that you can count on not only yourself but also the council and the administration to assist wherever it is possible and within the confines of regulatory and governance. The Wheatland County will be there to help you develop your new energy assets and operations in the county.
Thank you very much. I think that's very true, is that fact that Wheatland County is open for business and we have space for you to grow. There's two slogans that I like to repeat is we do have room. Our county is big, one of the biggest counties in Alberta, lots of room, lots of land available. Again, with that close proximity to Calgary, we have a council that welcomes investment and attraction. Investment and development, and we have a good team that's trying to continually develop our economy and create that tax revenue and job opportunities. So thank you, Markus. Please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have an economic development website located at infinitewc.ca, infinitewc.ca. That is undergoing changes with an ETA of this autumn, so that website will be totally revamped, but you can see a little bit about what we're at there as well. And thank you to everyone who's joined us today. Enjoy the weather.
All right.